Bhagavan has been telling us to read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, which is a very uh, celebrated spiritual book. I think all of you have heard about the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the teachings of Sri Krishna to Arjuna, his disciple and his friend and his relative, in the battlefield. The most practical utilization of Vedantic thoughts, of spiritual thoughts, because it was told not in an ashram, not in a cave, not in a mountain. It was told in a battlefield where the very next moment millions of people would be killed. And there he said the most practical of all spiritual thoughts, that how to fight, that you have to fight it because the fight is now just in front of you, like we are now facing, we don't have any options. We cannot run away and we have to face it. And Arjuna, he was trying to run away from the battlefield because the very beginning, when the first chapter starts in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna tells to Sri Krishna that both the parties, they are ready. Both the armies are ready to fight. But just before the fight, he said that, "Oh Sri Krishna, can you please take my chariot in the middle of both the armies so that I can see my men and also against whom I am fighting, for whom I am fighting and against whom I am fighting." So Sri Krishna was his chariot, so he took the chariot in between the two armies. And then he saw his enemies with whom he was going to fight. And he saw that the enemies whom he was going to fight next moment were all his kith and kin, his relatives, his gurus, who has taught him archery, who was so dear to him. He has to fight against them. He has to fight against his own cousins, his own brothers, his own family, his own relative. And seeing that, he got nervous. And he started shivering. And the bows and arrows, during those days, they used to fight with bows and arrows. So it fell down from his hand. And he started giving Sri Krishna teachings. He started to teach his guru, Sri Krishna, that it is not good to fight and these and that. I will go away and I don't want a kingdom which will be, tainted with their bloods, the bloods of my relatives. It is better to go away, live the life of a sannyasi, begging alms and living peacefully. Krishna was hearing everything quietly. The first chapter, there is not one single word of Sri Krishna. There are 18 chapters if you have gone through the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So, in the first chapter, there is not one single word of Sri Krishna because he was hearing what Arjuna was telling. And in the second chapter, he began to talk. That Arjuna, what you are telling to me is not renunciation. You sound like being very, apathetic to everything, and you are not interested in all these things. You are not interested in your kingdom, and you are not interested to rule and everything. And it seems that you have a renunciation in yourself, but it's not the fact. It's a fake one. Actually, you are afraid. And that is why you want to run away. Don't run. The war is in front of you. And you did not ask it. It came by itself. Now you as a warrior, your duty is to fight. Fight it. But then he taught him the technique to fight, the art to fight, how to fight, being established in sameness, being established in the intellect of sameness, being established in the state of equanimity. And he taught Arjuna in the next few chapters that you remain quiet and calm. Try to attain this equanimity of mind. Try to take everything as equal. Even if you lose this battle or you win this, try to take it equally. Try to treat it equally. And that what you are thinking that you will slay your friends, your families, your relatives, actually it is not so. Because then he gave beautiful logic, he made it beautifully, said it beautifully, that if you think they are bodies, they are their physical bodies, then this body is born and by law of nature it will die. And if you think that no, they are not bodies, they are the one residing in the body, the spirit, the soul, then it is not born, it doesn't die. So in both ways, if you have this knowledge, in both ways, it is nothing to you. Have this feeling, have this realization, be established in this realization, and then fight. Take your win or loss equally, and then fight. And every now and then he was inspiring Arjuna to fight the war. That come on, get up from this attachment what you are having and fight it. Fight the war. Don't avoid it. Fight it. This is the lesson Krishna has taught to the whole of mankind through Arjuna, that whenever we are confronted with adversities, the very first thing comes to us is how to avoid it. We don't try to face it. There are very rare people who want to face it, the adversities. They want to fly away. They want to avoid it. But Vedanta says, don't avoid it, overcome it. Because how much you may try, you may give your effort to avoid, you cannot actually avoid it. And the more you try to avoid it, the more it will follow you and you will be frightened. It will be the cause of your fear, the cause of your sorrow, the cause of your sufferings for the entire life. So better overcome it. Once you overcome it, you are free. So this is the lesson that he taught through Arjuna.